Welcome to SportsZone. It's your host, Steven Lucero. Just kidding, it's John Phillips. I'm joined by Carson Stark and Rohan Srinivasan as we talk NBA. This is an anticipated block. I can't lie, guys. I'm very, very excited to talk about this, especially when we get to MVP. But first, I got to ask you guys, Rookie of the Year, Cooper Flagg. He showed a lot this year, 50-point game recently. Is he the Rookie of the Year? Has he done enough? Has he clinched that award for you guys?
Oh, well, absolutely. Me and Carson are in agreement for the first time, and it will be the last time.
Yes, sir.
But Cooper Flagg is averaging around 21, 7, and 5. He's playing absolutely unbelievable with little to no help around him. I get why Knippel is the guy. He can shoot the lights out. Actually, 34 points against the Mavs on a back-to-back night. So good job for him, but Cooper Flagg is my Rookie of the Year.
Carson, he said you agree. Do you agree?
Oh, I for sure agree. I think it has to be Cooper Flagg. That 50-point game just solidified it. He had 50 points. Let's see here. He had 50 points on over 50% shooting. He had another game right after that with 45 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. He's been playing well all season. I think he kind of got to a shaky start whenever Nico Harrison was still the GM of the Dallas Mavericks and Jason Kidd had him running point guard. But I think a guy like Brandon Williams helped him out. And his supporting cast has been so bad this year. The Mavericks are obviously tanking, trying to get, maybe one of those studs that are coming out of college this year. Knippel's been playing great. He shoots the ball well, but I think I lean Cooper Flagg just because he's the first option. He's been so productive as that first option whenever Con has an elite offense around him with guys like LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, other high-powered offensive players. But I think John disagrees. So.
I do disagree just a little bit. I think that Cooper Flagg has shown the most star potential. The 50-point game, you can't doubt that, right? But if you look at who contributes to winning the most, I think it's Knippel. I think that the shooting that he brings to the Hornets has allowed their offense to be one of the best in the country since January. And you just look at the highlights and he torches Boston. Knippel is such an elite shooter. I feel like I have to go with him. But Cooper Flagg, he's done a lot. And I think mentioning that Jason Kidd ran him at point guard, what do you guys think about that? Because he did a similar thing with Giannis back in the day. He gave him those point guard minutes, kind of got him more used to being on ball. What do you think about Cooper Flagg getting those minutes?
To the rim, out to Green, that's a three, and it's good. Williams, misses on a fadeaway.
That's right. With these Hornets, in these highlights, you see that everyone on the Hornets is contributing to that offense. You have LaMelo, you have Brandon Miller, you have Knippel, you have a lot of really talented offensive players. So I get why you guys think that Cooper Flagg's Rookie of the Year. He has had to do more with less, but I don't know. I think that the award to me should be who's having the best rookie year, not who's going to be the best in the future. So I think for me, I've got to go with Knippel. I don't know. I think it's tough, but just watching these highlights, the spacing that he brings to the Hornets, the gravity that he has on the court, he's having one of the best seasons of all time shooting the ball as a rookie. It's just absurd stuff. And Carson, I have to ask you, what do you think about that?
I think it's definitely valid just because the Hornets' success has a lot to do with the players that are outside of Knippel, but that's a huge part because whenever you have a shooter shoot 45% as a rookie, and you have to predicate your game plan so much on him, don't leave Knippel. Even when I'm playing NBA 2K, gotta go to my settings, tell him to deny the ball because Knippel shoots the lights out of basketball. So I think it's brought a lot to the Hornets, but I honestly want to give the Hornets success more so to Charles Lee, the coach, because he's really brought that team together. They made some trades like that Kobe White trade has really elevated him scoring off the bench. So I think there's just so much more that has to do with the Hornets' team success. If the Hornets were still like the 11th, 12th seed, I don't think we'd be talking about confidence so much. It'd be more of a clear runway for the Flag. So that's why I lean to the Flag, because I think team success is confidence in the main argument. Like, oh, he can shoot the ball.
Rohan?
Yeah, and I want to also say something. I want to see how much y'all value this. Cooper Flagg is averaging more points, rebounds, assists, and steals than Con. How much does that matter, and how much do you take that into play?
I think it's tough because you look at Cooper Flagg and he is leading in those counting stats, but then you look at the efficiency and there is such a huge gap. And that is because we talked about it before the show. Cooper Flagg is taking on a load that a rookie is not going to be able to handle fully, right. But I do think that it just depends on what you value as a fan. Some people think that the points, the rebounds, the assists, the people that think Luka should win MVP, they value the points, the rebounds, and the assists. And the people that think Shea should
we're
win.
We're going to get into that.
But no, I definitely understand why you guys think Cooper Flagg should win Rookie of the Year.
Sure. It's pretty remarkable. They both came out of the same Duke team also.
How did they not win the title?
I don't know. Josh Fire?
Well, because of a missed shot by Cooper Flagg.
Not clutch. But you mentioned Charles Lee being a big factor for the Hornets' success, and I want to know, do you think that he's done enough to earn Coach of the Year, or do you think that should go to someone else? What do you guys think for Coach of the Year?
No way.
I don't think so.
No way.
I don't think so. I think.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I gotta say it has to be Joe Mazzulla. Personally, as a diehard NBA fan, I saw the Celtics. Oh, Tatum got hurt, like a 6th seed. maybe 8th, 7th seed play-in position. But no, that team is playing phenomenal. You have guys like Baylor Shireman coming off the bench and being productive. Didn't know who that was before the season. I think it really has to do with Joe Mazzulla's mentality. Also, Brad Stevens, who could be in the running for Executive of the Year because of what he's done with this roster. They lost Drew Holiday and Chris Porzingis, guys that were from this 2024 championship roster, and he's turned these role players into elite role players and surrounded Jaylen Brown this season. Now I have Tatum back. When we get into tennis, we'll talk about the Celtics more.
Not only that, because they were 35-19 with just Jaylen Brown. You add Jason Tatum into that mix is incredible. And for me, talking about contenders, I have the Celtics. If any team can beat the Thunder, the one team can beat the Celtics, in my opinion.
Wow,
that's about it.
Out of the entire league, you think that the Celtics have the best chance? The only chance?
Thunder are my favorites for sure, but if anybody's going to beat the Thunder, it's the Celtics.
That's very interesting. So I'm guessing you have them as strong favorites in the East, or?
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, to Cade Cunningham with his collapsed lung, that is an unfortunate situation. Really pray for him, but it is what it is. The Celtics might just beat the Pistons, I believe.
Carson, do you think that the Celtics are these favorites in the East, or do you have another team?
I think they're definitely the favorites in the East. The team I do want to shout out though real quick is the Atlanta Hawks. They have been playing remarkable since the calendar year 2026. Nickeil Alexander, I think, is I want to say sleeper, but he's a true contender for most improved player. He came from the Timberwolves where he was a good off-the-bench player. Now he's averaging 20 points. And some of the highlights you see, kind of playing like his cousin SGA, which of course Mike Green mentions every time he's on the broadcast. But they've been playing great. Jalen Johnson, who's averaging 22, 10, and 8. He gets a triple-double almost every other night when you look up. So shout out to the Hawks. But I think I don't know if they'll have enough to beat Cleveland, who's probably going to be the team that they play in the first round. The Celtics, definitely the team they beat in the East.
Yeah, and his cousin does play a lot like him. And honestly, the free throw jump he's taking this year, he's looking a lot like Shea in the star jump. So I don't know. I think next year we got to watch out for him. But we got to talk about the West. That's the stacked conference. You know, we have OKC, San Antonio. Tell me, who do you guys have as the favorite in that conference?
It's not a stacked conference to me. It's OKC. I mean, I know I get a lot of hate for Shea, but this guy's amazing. On and off the court, productive, efficient. Not my MVP, but still, that doesn't mean they won't make it out of the West, but they'll win the chip, if you ask me.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think if you guys didn't know, I'm a Thunder fan, diehard Thunder fan. But them boys in San Antonio, oh my gosh, that man who wears number 1, I don't want to say his name, he scares the lights out of me. 4-1 against them this year. I know one of the games, not too many people were healthy, but they scare the crap out of me. So I really think that the NBA championship comes down to the San Antonio Spurs and Oklahoma City Thunder this year, with the Celtics fighting to fight in the East. But I think it comes down to those two teams.
Because as a Thunder fan, I want to ask you: does it bother you that San Antonio head-to-head, that they're not the better team, but head-to-head, they've gotten the better of it for a long time? So.
I think it bothers me, but it also makes me feel more comfortable in a way, because it's like, okay, this is a team that we know has dominated us. Christmas Day, I was kicked up, opened my presents, I was looking forward to a win. And we got manhandled by the Spurs, so I think it really kind of ignited. We had a rough stretch there, going I want to say 18-12 in a 30-game stretch, and now we're 24-2 in the last 26 games. So I think we kind of needed that, but it scares me a little bit, but I still have confidence in my team.
So I mean, if the West is between OKC and San Antonio, is the MVP race down to Shea and Wembanyama? I mean,
why don't
Carson,
you start with this?
Carson, who do you think the MVP is?
The defending NBA champion, Oklahoma City Thunder, have the back-to-back MVP, Shivante Gilgeous-Alexander. There's no debate. There is really no thing to it. The Denver Nuggets game solidified it for me, hitting the step-back 3, 35 points, 15 assists, efficient, 55% on 30 points per game. Hasn't been done since Michael Jordan, who's arguably the greatest player ever. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let's see what he has to say, but don't get it confused.
Yeah, Rohan, you said you didn't think he was the MVP.
I'll make one quick point. Do you know there's an NBA ref in Carl Lane? What shoe is he wearing? He's wearing SGA's shoe. Are you kidding me? It's literally called the Charm Black Edition.
They are nice shoes, though.
They're very nice, absolutely.
I have two
you want to see it right here? It's right here. It's very nice. It's very nice. However, the NBA ref is wearing his own shoe. What do you think is going to happen?
What's he supposed to wear on the basketball court? Non-basketball
Regular shoes.
Non-basketball shoes?
Go to Academy.
You want him in loafers? You want him in loafers on the court?
But just go to Academy. Don't wear an MVP candidate shoes, because we're going to look at that and say, no wonder why you go to the free throw line.
And speaking of the free throw line, who's your MVP candidate? I believe he has more free throws than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Absolutely, and I have Luka Doncic. Can I make my case for MVP?
Go ahead, Rohan. Floor is yours.
So here is my case for MVP. I'm not saying what will happen. I'm saying what should happen. And here is why the NBA voters hate Luka Doncic. It starts all in the beginning of the season, okay? They say he has to lose weight, okay? He goes on the Good Morning Show, he loses weight, but loses weight. This isn't middle school here. He's averaging a 33-point triple-double while being chunky, as they say. But he's averaging 33, 8, and 9, goes on the Good Morning Show. The producer says, is it Ozempic? Which is just so unprepared in so many ways. But he loses the weight. Then he says, okay, Let's see if he averages MVP numbers. He's averaging 33, 8, and 9. Then they said, you know what? He's good, but he doesn't play defense. Meanwhile, his defensive rating says otherwise at 114. Then they said, okay, he plays defense. He's an MVP candidate, but his team isn't winning. I remember last month, I think it was last week of February or March, while the Lakers were a 5th seed, I said Luka Doncic is the NBA's MVP. Now they're a top 3 seed just a week ago for Luka's last game. So my question is, what are y'all going to say now? What's the new excuse?
So I have to ask you a question, right?
Go
Luka is the MVP, and I'm guessing you think he's the MVP largely on the back of his offensive performance, because Luka Doncic is a gifted offensive player.
Thank you.
But when Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is more efficient in terms of shooting and in terms of point per possession, in isolation, in transition, as the solo ball handler, in every type of offensive action, I just wonder, how can he be a better offensive player if Shai just is a way better offensive player and OKC's offense gets better with Shai on the court compared to Luka on the court? So
I absolutely agree with you, and that's where I was going next. A lot of team statistics get brought up in this. Why are the Thunder 8-4 and the Lakers are 7-7 without their solidified superstars? That's what I have to ask. Now, you bring up a good point in terms of efficiency. However, if Luka is also averaging more points, more rebounds, more assists, more steals, what can you say to that? So whenever you throw at me the efficiency, I can throw it back at you and say more points, more rebounds, more assists. Yes, he has the ball a lot more in his hands, but this guy, it's high time that he wins an MVP. Shai has already got one.
But you look at the team offense and you see
Pity
that
MVPs?
you think
pity. He's averaging 33, 8, and 9.
but Shai, the OKC offense gets 10 points better with Shai versus no Shai, right?
Yep.
The Lakers offense, 5 points better.
Can I throw out a stat?
It's better.
ahead.
It's double.
Why don't you
Throw
go?
another stat. Throw
I
another
know a lot
stat.
of basketball fans that are watching this watch a YouTuber named Jimmy Hyrule, and he brought up the stat in his most recent video that ESPN calls the MVP stat. SGA has 443 net points. The second closest player is Nikola Jokic with 310, and just outside of that is Luka Doncic with 305. That is a more than 100-point gap. Last year, it was a difference between 1 point between SGA and Jokic last year. That was how tight the MVP race is.
Fair.
This stat, the MVP stat by ESPN and all their experts, because ESPN is the most well-respected sports network, I think we can all agree. It's an 100-point difference in net rating. In net rating, all that means is that the net rating or the net points. It shows the impact a player has to the team's wins, and who has the most wins in the NBA. No Oklahoma City Thunder.
Well, then let's bring up P. Okay. Those are team statistics.
But I want to ask you a question.
Can we talk about player statistics,
People say
individuals?
People say team statistics, right? And that would mean that Shai is getting lifted by his offensive core, right?
Okay.
And you look at OKC and you look at their second option. It's worse than Austin Reeves. AJ Mitchell or Chet Holmgren is their second option.
Why are they 8-4 then without Shai, and why are the Lakers?
The Lakers are 7-7. That's one game.
It doesn't
Are we
matter.
seriously going by one game?
But can we all agree though that the Oklahoma City Thunder are way better than the Lakers? Can we agree with
Yes,
that?
they
Okay.
can.
So therefore, you guys like the best player on the best team
But
award.
he's the best.
It's not the
They're
MVP
the best team
award.
because of him. They are the best team.
Because of
They
Shai.
are so good because they are the greatest defense of all time, and they are the greatest defense because Shai is an offensive engine on his own, and he carries
And
it
he
where
can
they can
guard.
play 4 defenders with him.
Absolutely, that's great, guys. But the stats don't lie.
The stats do lie.
Bring me one out of points, rebounds, assists, steals. He's not leading in one of
Name me
them.
one
It's
advanced
only
stat
his
Luka.
team.
Name me one advanced stat that Luka is leading in. One. EPM.
What do you mean?
No.
PER.
EPM.
PER.
Darko.
Points per
PER.
possession.
PER.
PER takes all your overall category. His defense rating is at 114. He averages 33, 8, and 9. Overall, when you add that up, he has a better statistical measure in PER than anybody else in the entire league. And as your YouTuber said it, producing so much offense that you'll give his average defense every single time.
No, you won't. Because if you watch that OKC game, what happened then? 12 points.
Without Luka?
No.
With Luka. Before he
got injured, bro.
Before he got injured. What about before,
Let me
though?
name the stats before he got injured.
Because we were stomping.
12 points.
We were donkey
12
smacking.
points, 6 turnovers, 3 for 10 shooting.
Okay, wait. Can I just bring up one thing real quick? That's a regular season game. When's the last time Luka and Shai went up in the playoffs?
Shai outperformed Luka.
Wait.
When PJ
2
Washington
years-
Shai outperformed Luka.
One second.
Shai outperformed Luka.
I'll finish it with this. 2 years ago, Luka and Shai showed up in the Western Conference semifinals, and that's all we have to go about big games. He beat him in 6 games. So what do you have to say to that?
Okay,
PJ
if we
Washington
want to go through big games.
PJ Washington, wow. Okay, that's our
Derrick
stat.
Jones.
Yes, Luka has the big games and Shai has the championship ring and, the biggest game of them all, Game 7.
What did Shai say? I don't care about the talks and awards. I just want to be at the parade in this season.
And Shai is going to win the MVP, so it doesn't even matter what Rohan over there thinks. But no, it's a very tight race. We didn't even mention Wemby and Jokic. There's a lot of great contenders, but we will have to see for the rest of the season. There's not much left, but we will have to see. Join us after this commercial break for the next block.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I did not remember what was up next.
Computers, printers, and the building is open 24/7. By going online, you can book up to an hour of reserved space in one of the many private study rooms. Many of them are equipped with whiteboards, a table, and a TV to hook up to your computer. Textbooks can be checked out for free with a student ID. They also have many of these in ebook forms. This is still a library, so always remember to be quiet and respectful of other surroundings, especially in certain places where talking is not allowed. For example, the 3rd and 4th floor are completely quiet. As you can see, Willis Library has many options for students, with it offering many media sources and staying open all the time.
What's wrong? Are you stuck in your paper?
Pretty much. I haven't written anything in like an hour.
Why don't you check out the Writing Center at UNT?
Well, how do I meet up with him?
All you have to do to make an appointment is visit the Writing Center's website and either call the number or email writingcenter@unt.edu. The appointment is 30 minutes long, and the trained tutors will be able to help with brainstorming, correcting grammar, ensuring clarity, and a wide range of services. They also do walk-in appointments.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna check him out.
So, when's this paper due?
30 minutes.
For more information, visit the UNT Writing Center's website.
Yeah, it's 6 pages.
Welcome back to SportsZone. I'm joined by Alex Salazar and Tina Orozco as we talk the Rangers. And before we get into how they've been playing on the field, we have to talk about those City Connect jerseys. They announced the Tejas jerseys. What do you guys think? Are you a fan?
I like them. I think they're a nice color. I think it's a great homage to like the Texas, Latino, Hispanic culture. I think it's great. I might cop one if I have $200 to spare for a nice Seager Tejas jersey.
They are pricey. Alex, do you think that they're good?
So I understand the complaints about it. It's 2 colors. I would have liked to seen a little bit more, maybe blue in there, but it's a good jersey. I don't really understand why people don't like it. Like, that is a clean, out of the bunch of City Connect jerseys that we got this year, this has got to be up there. I mean, the designs on the sleeves right there, they look cool. The hat is gorgeous. I love the fact that it says Tejas. I mean, like you said, that's a great homage to the Hispanic community in Texas, but overall, I just think it's a good jersey.
Can I be honest? I am one of those haters. I am not a fan of this jersey. I think that it's a fine, like, alternate jersey, like a little away jersey, like you wear it every once in a while. For the City Connect, I want you to do something crazy. I want you to, like, really go out there with your design and do something. And like you said, it's 2 colors. It's red and white.
Bring back the Peagle.
Bring back the Peagle.
It's fun.
I agree.
It's very original. Bring it back.
I agree. We have to do more original things with jerseys. We can't be boring. But the Rangers on the field have been anything but boring with a up and down start so far this season, just coming off of a sweep of the Mariners. I mean, the top you can be. How'd you guys feel about that Mariners series?
I mean, it was great. I know people were talking about the pitching really stepped up. We got to see Mackenzie Gore in the last game of the series. He really came alive. It's nice to see him. He only allowed 1 hit in 5 scoreless innings. He was also going up against Brian Wu for the Mariners. That's really tough competition. So it's impressive to see him come on this team and really make a show of his talent.
Yeah, every single game that pitching was super impressive, keeping them down to 1-2-0 runs every game. I mean, Alex, how'd you feel about this first game where we shut them out?
Yeah, there's really no reason why they should have won any of the games in this series, really. Seattle, they have their struggles offensively, but they still have one of the best rotations in the MLB. I mean, they faced, like you said, Brian Wu, they faced George Kirby, and I think the other one was Logan Gilbert, if I remember correctly. Those are 3 dominant aces, but like you said, Mackenzie Gore, what a godsend for this team. Jack Leiter, I'm considering getting him for a City Connect, and it's just kind of a roller coaster with this team, really. I mean, but a win is a win. 3 wins are 3 wins, and against the defending ALS champions, I mean,
those wins matter at the end of the season.
We'll focus on the things that we need to work on earlier, but right now, let's just celebrate a sweep over those Seattle Mariners. First time since the championship year, if I remember correctly.
And speaking of celebrating, let's talk about the heights of this roller coaster that is the Rangers and talk about the pitching. I mean, it was elite this series, and it's been pretty great all year. I mean, what have you guys thought about the starting rotation for the Rangers this year?
I mean, we're looking at DeGrom, Evo, and now Gore. I mean, they have a .5 winning percentage for the team. They're first in the division, beating the Mariners like this solely off of pitching. I mean, of course, our offense has stepped it up a bit, but our pitching is really carrying us, and it's amazing to add Gore to the lineup of amazing names. It's looking great. It was just a pitching duel this past week between the Mariners and the Rangers.
Absolutely. Alex, I mean, do you have confidence in this pitching staff going forward, the starting rotation?
The starting rotation, yes. I mean, DeGrom was very solid. I mean, I think it's gotten to the point with the rotation and with who DeGrom is now, I don't need him to be that dominant workhorse Cy Young candidate. I need him to be maybe a third or second guy in the rotation just so he doesn't have all of the workload on him, which, I mean, you've seen what it's done. The young guys are stepping up.
Yeah.
That's fair. And based off your guys' reaction, the starting rotation where you have faith in, the bullpen, I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you have that same level of confidence?
I mean, we've relied on Martin for a good bit, but Martin's a little older. That doesn't diminish his talent, but we should be a little bit more secure in our closing lineup. Our starters, we're fine. We're completely good on that part, but closing-wise, might be a little bit of a struggle later on in the season, I think. It's still early, but we haven't come into many issues, but later on, it'll be a problem that we need to fix.
Do you agree, Alex? Do you think that this bullpen is going to be an issue later in the season?
I want to start by saying this. Jacob Latz, unreal.
Yeah.
28 up, 28 down. Incredible stuff from Jacob Latz. That's it. That's the entire bullpen. Like you said with the closing spot, I mean, we're only a few weeks in the season, and it's already been a carousel between guys like Robert Garcia, Tyler Alexander, Jacob Junis. I mean, I would consider throwing in maybe for a game or two Latz in there, or maybe even Kumar Rocker. I would consider those two in the closing position. But bottom line, never again can it be Chris Martin or Robert Garcia. We can't. I can't do it. I cannot do it.
Yeah, we cannot endure another second of those two closing games for us, but hopefully they won't have that many, close games to come into if the pitching stays up and the hitting gets hot. What do you guys think about the bats and the starting lineup for the Rangers this season?
I think we're looking pretty good. I don't know if we're already getting to it, but who has impressed me the most is Andrew McCutchen.
We gotta talk about him.
What a great add to the team. I know when he first announced that he was coming to the team, I was like, oh man, everyone loves him. He's an MLB favorite, but he's not going to be this bombshell of a player. He plays outfield, but he's mostly DH. But he has a 333 average. He's in the 300s for his OBS. He is on fire. When we look at him in comparison to Jock Peterson, we're looking at a I'd rather have Andrew McCutchen in that permanent DH spot, or the sometimes right field, left field, rather than Jock Peterson. He's impressed me so much, Andrew McCutchen.
Yeah, I'm a huge Jock Peterson fan as a Dodgers fan, but McCutchen has been way better. And I think people forgot that there's a furry festival in Dallas, and you gotta take that into account when you look at McCutchen. The furries power him. But Alex, how have you felt about McCutchen and the rest of the bats on this team?
That's ball knowledge right there, knowing the furry power.
Of course.
Brandon Nimmo's good. Yeah. Brandon Nimmo leads the team right now in OPS 904. That's really good. I'm kind of worried everywhere else. Wyatt Langford is really starting to scare me. 160 average, OPS of 456. Josh Smith 143. Now, I will say this. It's not that they're striking out or just hitting little dribblers to third. They are hitting hard. They are getting good, solid hits on the ball. It's just there is a little bit of luck involved when it comes to baseball, getting the ball where the fielders aren't. But it's early. Yeah. I'll keep it at that. I'll try to remember that it's early, so hopefully the bats finally start to show later in the year.
That's fair. So far, even despite the slow start for the bats, we are first in the AL West. No other team in the AL West is above 500. So, just completely impressive stuff. But, do you guys think that this is something that we can continue? Do you think the Rangers are going to be able to stay atop the division for the rest of the year? Do you think that this is a playoff team?
I do. I do believe it. I think the bats are going to turn around. Seager is going to continue what he does to hit the ball and hit home runs. Wyatt Langford is going to wake up eventually. Josh Smith is going to wake up. The starting lineup, or the starting rotation, is going to stay dominant as it is. And I think at the deadline, they are going to add pieces. They will hopefully find a real closer. They will hopefully find a real setup man. They will hopefully add some more power to the lineup. That's what I'm a little concerned about when it comes to the power on the lineup. But overall, I think it's good now. I do believe that this is a playoff team, 100%.
When Jake Berger is your power hitter, that it's a little tough, you know?
It scares me a little bit. I mean, cheeseburger, I love it, but you know, I'd like to see more.
Hopefully that, you know, they can hit us to glory. Andrew McCutcheon can step up. We will have to see. There's still a lot of season left, but up next we will be talking about another Texas team as we talk about the Dallas Stars. Join me after this commercial break. Good luck.
There's no harm in wanting to have fun while in college, but it's easy to lose track of how much you've had. Apps like Drink Control and Alkadroid can help keep track of your consumption and blood alcohol levels. If you or someone else does drink too much, the signs of alcohol poisoning are as follows: pale skin, vomiting, confusion, low body temperatures, irregular breathing, blacking out, and it's hard to wake up or cannot be woken up.
Dude, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Wake up.
It's an exciting time of year, but it's important to be responsible. If you suspect someone is suffering from alcohol poisoning, get help immediately. You will not get in trouble for seeking help if you are underage. For more info and resources, go to UNT's Division of Student Affairs.
Has this ever happened to you?
My bike! My bike is gone!
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Welcome back, guys. We are talking about another team in DFW that is doing very well to end the season as we are talking about the Dallas Stars. Joining me, Cade Cadena and Luke Rimler. I mean, guys, it has been a very hot end of the season for the Stars. I mean, what have you guys felt about this team so far?
Well, it was getting hot, and then it wasn't getting hot. You know, they've won 3 of their last 10 games, so not great. We walked off the last one in overtime. Wyatt Johnston with that nasty backhand goal to send us to the glory land.
We got to talk about that game a little. I mean, 4-3 win in overtime over Calgary. That game was electric. I mean, talk a little bit more about that game.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was cinema, man. You get because we were down 3-1, and then you come back. Always, comebacks are always fun in any sport. You get to overtime. You get the 4-minute power play, and Wyatt Johnston, such a nasty shot too. It was amazing.
It was great, Cade.
John's a big fan of cinema, obviously, but it's a little worrying because the Calgary Flames are one of the weaker teams in the NHL right now. But An overtime win is an overtime win, and you're hoping that we can take that momentum of a really great comeback win, take that into what our today's game against the Minnesota Wild. We'll see about that, but like you've been saying, it's just inconsistency all year. I mean, obviously Tyler Seguin getting out for the season doesn't help, and just been dealing with injuries in and out. Mikko Rantanen being in and out of the lineup sucks a lot. It's been a weird year, but it's encouraging that we're still firmly in the playoffs during a weird year for the Stars. It's a weird, like I said, I don't know how to feel about this team. I'm very jaded when it comes to the Stars because, I've gotten my hopes up the last 3 years. I've gotten my hopes up, and nothing about this season screams different to me. It feels like the offense is still really good, but now Jake Ottinger, who's been been one of the best goalies in all of NHL the last few years, has been really spotty lately. It sucks to see because he's my favorite player on this team aside from Jason Robertson. But yeah, man, I don't feel it. I hate to be the downer here, but I just don't feel it when it comes to this team. But it's a new day. We'll see how we do against the Wild. It's going to be tough because they are such a high-powered offense, and that's kind of the teams we struggle with. Those are the teams we give up 3 to 5 goals against, so you're just hoping Ottinger can lock in, I guess.
It's especially rough to see Ottinger struggle and be a little spotty in the regular season when he's had struggles in the postseason in the past. So, I mean, to see him before we even get to the postseason struggle, it's scary, but we have to talk about this Minnesota Wild game. I mean, we're confirmed to play them in round 1 of the playoffs, and that is an electric matchup. Both teams over 100 points, very similar seasons, but tonight is a very important game for momentum, I think, to get that win over Minnesota. How do you guys feel this game's going to go?
Yeah, not only momentum, but getting that home ice. It's so big, especially in the NHL. It's one of the most electric postseasons, and being at home is just, it's such a big difference. And you have it, you have the NFL, you have the MLB, NBA, where it's a little bit of an advantage, but I feel like, especially in the NHL, it just, you get that extra step of momentum when you're at home. So I think it's really a big deal. The Stars are 2 points ahead of the Wild right now, so
yeah.
It's big to get this win. Even, if you can take it to overtime, even if you can't win it in overtime, just don't lose in regulation. Stay ahead of the Wild and keep the home ice. And if you can just carry that into the playoffs, get that advantage at home, I feel like you're one step closer.
It's interesting because if you look at it, Minnesota is behind us in points, but the goals are even, and they have a better save percentage. I mean, if you look at the stats, it might seem like they are the better team. Cade, do you think that's the case, or do you think that the Stars, have a little bit of an edge over Minnesota?
It's pretty neck and neck to me. These are, like I said, these are two high-powered offenses. Their strengths are very similar. So it's literally just going to come down to, every NHL game comes down to this, but who's going to put the puck in the net? That's so easy to say, but it's true when it comes to these two teams. We're obviously hoping the Stars are going to be the ones to be able to get out to a hot start, be able to control the game. But you just never know with this team. There's times where our offense looks like it's the greatest thing of all time, and there are days where it just comes out flat. And you're hoping, you're just praying to God that we're going to look like the Stars of old, or the Stars of the years past, and look like the team that we want, look like the team that we know we can be.
Yeah, it's worried me a little bit the way we've played against, the top contenders in the Western Conference, like the Avs, for example, been struggling against them. Yeah. The Wild, we've been kind of up and down against, and it's been good games. Hopefully we get another one of those good games today, and we can hopefully pull it out, and it's just about to start. I
want to know, with these high-powered offenses that you're talking about, Cade, do you think that having the best player is going to be important, the best goal scorer? Do you think that it'll come down to Kaprizov versus Wyatt Johnston, or do you think that it's going to be a little bit more about the depth of the teams?
It's tough to say, but I really do think, I'm a big believer is whoever has the best player on the field on any sport is going to be the team that has the advantage. I mean, that comes with nuance, but I do believe Mikko Rantanen is a top 5 player in the league. That might be hot to say. I don't know. I'm a big Mikko fan, and Jason Robertson has been so underrated. 3rd in goals, and he doesn't get enough appreciation. We have the players to get us there. It's just there's just something magical that happens when we get to the Western Conference Finals, and it's
right.
I think most Stars fans would call it the opposite of magical. I think they would call it a nightmare and the worst thing ever. That
it's some dark magic,
Yeah, something evil in the air in DFW. But I mean, I kind of agree this year is going to be a tough one, especially like you said, we've been struggling against Colorado all year, and they are the best team in the West. Do you think that Dallas has what it takes to change our fortune when it gets to the playoffs and beat Colorado?
You know what? In years past, I've said, yes, we have what it takes. This year, I'm just going to say we don't. We're the Buffalo Bills of the NHL. Everything, we're such good offenses, but every time we just can get there, it's like, oh, this is our year. This is our chance. No, it's not. It's just, I'm going to be the downer here. I'm just going to say this is not the year. I hate saying this, but I don't feel it.
You seem to love it. Really bad vibes over there. Just we suck,
it sucks.
But Luke, dude,
Jake Ottinger is not my goat anymore.
Wow, that's big. That's big.
No,
words,
he still
Kate.
is.
That's
I
big
still
words.
love Otter.
But Luke, I mean, do you agree? Do you think that this is just a little bit too tall of a task for the Stars?
I'm gonna be the positive guy.
Yeah, go.
The last 2 years we've beaten the Avs in the playoffs, and everybody says, "Oh, the Avs got it this time. The Avs got it this time." They may be right this time.
I mean, yeah,
but we're going to say they're not.
The Avs took us to 7 games last year. We forget that. If it wasn't for the heroics from that 3-goal performance from Mikko Rantanen in Game 7, we would have been out. We would have even gone past the first round. And the Avs have gotten better. So it's scary. They've gotten better. I wouldn't say they're dominating, but they're clearly ahead of us. They have 5 more wins than us. That's something to say. So
this is what it comes down to, though. Do the Avs have as much aura?
You got to take that into account. I mean, that is crucial to take into account. But I mean, if you think that the Stars have more aura and are ahead of the Avs, Are they the favorite in the West? Are they favorites to get to the Stanley Cup?
They're going to do it this time.
They're doing it.
They're doing it this time.
Our
I'm
most
the
handsome
positive guy
player is
here.
out, though. Tyler Sagan's out, so that's
And
a
the
big
handsomeness
aura loss
is
for us.
important once you get to the playoff. That is very big
This
for the
guy
aura.
just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to see us win.
I know. I mean,
that's what it is.
Who doesn't like an underdog story? Like you said, the Avs have 5 more wins, but it
Are
doesn't
we an
matter.
underdog, though?
5 more wins for the Avs. I mean, to you it seems like an underdog. I think you think that we are an underdog versus the Avs now.
We're not an underdog. We're just underperforming, man.
We're just like
talking
an
down
under
on us.
cat. We're like an
Yeah,
under
I
different type of
guess.
animal. But I mean, going over to the East, I mean, who do you guys think is the favorite to face the Stars or the Avs or whoever ends up making it out of that Western Conference?
It always comes back to just whoever has the best player on the ice, and that's obviously Connor McDavid with the Oilers. It's the safe pick to say, but yeah, man, like it's impressive to see like they're going back to the playoffs after being in back-to-back Stanley Cups, and you're seeing how the Florida Panthers are performing right now. They're like last in the league, man. They're out. So like yeah, they've been like. It's just impressive is like the consistency to keep going back to the place, which is something you can say about the Stars, but I think even more so with the Oilers because they played the same amount of games as the Panthers, and look where the Panthers are right now.
I mean, Luke, do you agree? Are the Oilers your favorite coming out just because of McJesus?
Yeah.
he's really good. He's maybe.
I don't see anyone that threatening out of. I feel like our Central Division is the more stacked per se. You have three. I'm sorry. I don't see anyone that intimidating out of the Eastern Conference. I only see it as the Oilers.
I got 2 teams to mention to you out loud. I got Carolina Hurricanes. They have been dominate this year. But I think the more interesting pick is the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I got to shout out Steven Lucero. We miss you. I got to shout him out. He gave you a very interesting stat. Every single year, other than last one, for the past, I think, 5 years, the losing Stanley Cup team has had Corey Perry on the roster. And where's Corey Perry? Tampa Bay. It's already happened twice with him on the team. I think it's happening for a 3rd time. It's going to be very exciting to see. Hopefully the Stars can finally get over the hump. We will have to see when we get to the playoffs, but that is all the time we have for this. We will be talking up next about some interesting stuff, so join us after this commercial break.
TRIO is a federally funded grant program. It was funded in the 60s, and it supports student success and student retention. So we have a lounge, computer lab, free printing for our students. We also provide one-on-one advising services for our students, as well as career exploration and prep. Students who are eligible for TRIO include those who are first-gen, low income, or have a disability. They just have to meet one of those 3. There are many benefits to being in TRIO. Some of the general ones are the services we provide. The other benefits include creating a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and giving a safe space for students to come. Students can apply for our program by either coming in person and scanning a QR code, or they can also visit our webpage that has a direct link to our online application. And students need to know that we are here to help.
I use Flex to buy my favorite snacks.
I use Flex to get me through my mornings.
I use Flex at my favorite campus restaurants.
I love how Flex is a cashless payment method and can be used at all campus dining venues.
So, how do you use Flex?
Guys, I'm filling in for Steven Lucero, and because of that, that means we get to talk soccer. We are talking Champions League. It never happens Thursday, and joining me, we got a really special guest. We have Nash Lowry. Oh, boss.
And Maria. Maria's here too. You and I, come on.
Maria is also a special guest, but Nash, I mean, the boss is on to talk about soccer. This is a big thing, and we're starting with the games that happened 2 days ago. We're going to start with Arsenal versus Sporting, because that was the game that had the least, stakes to it out of all 4, in my opinion. What did you guys think about that game?
I feel like it had the most stakes for the viewer because Arsenal's going into this matchup. Sporting has fought a lot to get here. You remember down 3-0 against Bodo Glimt, of course, right? And then they come back, they score, I believe, 6 goals in the second leg, and they win themselves into the quarterfinal. So now it was up to Arsenal to blow them out of the water. And that was just not it. Sporting had the first 3 chances of the match, and then there was really no chances for Arsenal. They had one good shot with Odegaard. Declan Rice and Odegaard were passing between each other, but then it was Odegaard to take one shot at the end of the half. Nothing really happened. Then we get into the second half, and Zubamendi did score a goal for Arsenal. It was ruled offside, so Arsenal technically did score 2 goals in this game. It was fantastic offense and even more stupendous goalies. However, nothing really happened. 4-3 an Arsenal side versus 4-2-3-1. And then the final goal finally comes at the end of the time when it gets down to the 91st minute. First of all, in the 71st minute, Odegaard gets subbed out. Kai Havertz comes in. Beautiful delivery from Martinelli gives Havertz the world-class goal. First touch, right past the keeper. It was really good, but I didn't see enough from Arsenal.
Yeah, Kai Havertz has that experience scoring those big-time goals, but we were talking about this earlier, 0 set pieces for Arsenal. They did not get their strengths. They did not play to their strengths. I mean, what did you think about this in this game?
I think Arsenal is coming from a place of overconfidence because if we're looking at their previous games, they have won most of them. And they're ranked top in the Champions League right now. And I remember when I was watching the Premier League, they were also on top of that. So I feel they're coming from a place of confidence. So they come to the game against the Sporting, who like fought their way to, and they were kind of like an underdog right there in the Champions League. And they're coming like, oh yeah, we have this in the bag. We're like the best team if we're talking about the stats. But if we're talking about how they played, that was like sloppy.
Sporting CP completely ruled Declan Rice out of the game. He was a non-factor. He had 2 passes between Odegaard in the first half that didn't go anywhere. And then, like you said, John, no set pieces. There was no time where I thought Declan Rice had a big impact in this game. And that's scary because we've already seen Sporting come back against Bodo Glimt. Who says they can't do it against Arsenal?
And that's especially with Arsenal's recent struggles. I mean, we just saw them lose to Southampton in the FA Cup. This is not a team that is in the best form right now, and they're struggling in the Premier League as well. So, I mean, I want to know, do you guys think that going into the second leg, Sporting could make some noise and get another comeback in this Champions League run?
Yes, I really do. I really do think they could. It's simply up to the pedigree that happened in the round of 16. Now that we're in the quarterfinals, they're there. They've got the energy and density around them. They can do it.
That's fair. Do you agree?
I agree. They're gonna do it. They have fought hard, and like if we based off this past game, I think they can do it.
I have to hope they can do it because Arsenal, I hate them, and that midfield really, you mentioned it, they were not doing anything. Declan Rice and Odegaard, they just were passing between themselves, not really being dangerous at all.
If they can get some set pieces, then that'll be it.
They will need some set pieces for sure. But I mean, and then the other game that happened that day was a lot more exciting. I mean, Bayern, Real Madrid, 2-1. It was electric, and Bayern looked really, really good. I mean, what did you guys think about that game?
It was an absolute smoke show of a game, I tell you what. So 21 shots on the side for Real Madrid, and then 19 shots on the side for Bayern Munich. 10 shots on net for Real Madrid. Their offense was cooking. Jude Bellingham was creating. However, Manuel Neuer completely shut that down. He had 9 saves on the day, and Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. both gave 3 shots apiece at Manuel Neuer, and he stopped them. He was defending on his head at age 41. The longest tenured player in Bayern Munich history. So yeah, his performance that day was absolutely amazing. Trent Alexander-Arnold was also playing great with his pass to Mbappe. Mbappe did score in this game, but Luis Diaz was really, really created. That's his 23rd goal in 40 appearances for them. And then it took Harry Kane all of 30 seconds to score his goal out of halftime. They did a great job counterattacking. They deserved this 2-1 victory. And honestly, just sitting back, it felt like I was watching, just an American football game. There's so much scoring.
And with those 2 goal scorers, you mentioned Luis Diaz, Harry Kane. These are guys who have experience in the Premier League. They have experience in that top league. Do you think that strategy is working out for Bayern this year?
I think that strategy is working out for Bayern too. And if we look at Real Madrid's team, they have a stacked team. They have a lot of big names. But you can have a lot of big names, and these players cannot keep their egos out of the game. Like, they are not playing as a team. Mbappe is the one who's carrying his team on the shoulder. He's carrying the team on the shoulder, and then we have Vinicius who's trying to help him out. But I feel like there's a lot of battle of egos that doesn't let Real Madrid progress right now. And there are a lot of big names, and you'd expect a team like that that's stacked to make progress and that. I didn't see any of that. I feel like Bayern has a more open and more organized way of playing than Madrid right now.
Completely agree. And I mean, do you think that's going to result in a second leg win for Bayern? Do you think they're going to get the win over Real Madrid?
It's definitely going to happen because again, if this Real Madrid cannot keep the egos out of the game, you can't advance. You can't do anything.
If they are able to quell the egos, they're going to have to look a lot like PSG. For me, if Real Madrid wants to beat Bayern Munich and advance to the semifinal, it's going to be up to Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. to have more accurate passes, more accurate shots. Their shots were filled with power, and Neuer was stopping them all. It's going to be up to them to stop them with accuracy. And for Bayern Munich, they just simply have to do what they did on Tuesday. Everything I saw out of them was great, and if they're able to make an amazing defense filled with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Rudiger, as well as others, Carreras on that team, and get shots past Lunin, come on.
And I know you want to talk about him. I just heard you mention him.
Yes,
PSG.
let's move
I believe
on,
you texted me during the game and said the beautiful game, 30 passes or 3 passes. PSG is scoring on you at Nash. I mean, talk about how beautiful that PSG team plays.
So PSG in this game, I'm gonna explain it to you guys like this. So these two teams are playing rock, paper, scissors. All right, Liverpool goes out. They play paper, and PSG just plays scissors. They absolutely obliterated them through coaching, but also through their play as well. Here's some stats for you. 17 shots for PSG compared to 3 on the Liverpool side. 7 on target compared to 0 for the Liverpool side. 733 passes for PSG, 255 for Liverpool. It simply came down to how they were defending with a back 5. They were not able to cover PSG man-to-man. And great decision-making by PSG's manager, completely outsmarting Arne Slot of Liverpool. And yeah, that's really all it took. It was Doué getting the deflection goal off of Gravenberch in the beginning, and then Kvaratskhelia got a great goal in the 65th minute. And then from there, it was really just dominance. There's no other side where you can argue that Liverpool played great.
You said paper versus scissors. I want to say baby versus nuclear bomb. I mean, 500 more passes this game. It is absurd what they did. I mean, PSG was insane. I mean, they have players like Kvaratskhelia. I mean, what do you think about this PSG team?
Yeah, the PSG team it's playing really good. Like, if we compare it to Real Madrid, they're playing on really different leagues again. The PSG players can actually keep their egos aside and play in different places of the game. We have Dembélé, who he's a striker, and he was like playing in the midfield position. So we have that, and then also what was surprising is that in an interview right after the Liverpool team, someone said that they were lucky that they lost 2-0. They could have lost by a bigger margin with that team that they had. So that's what I feel like that was impressive. They lost, but with dignity.
If PSG just plays the same way, they'll wipe Liverpool out, and Liverpool will have to run away. Yeah, but there's one more game left.
Yes, and speaking of if they play the exact same, they'll easily go through. If Atletico Madrid plays the exact same as they played in the 2-0 win versus Barcelona, they will be going through. And I mean, I think we have to talk about the Pau Cubarsí red card. It happens right before the first half, and then Julian Alvarez on the free kick scores the opening goal and just really opens the gates for Atletico Madrid. I mean, how big of a red card was that for Barcelona to get?
I feel like that's the thing that threw Barcelona's whole game out. Like, they didn't have a chance after Cubarsí's red card.
Lamine Yamal can create so much on the right wing, but when you take away a whole extra man, it's just simple math. You go up against the park the bus defense of 4-4-2 and what Atletico Madrid is running. Great performance from them. But when you have to have Lamine Yamal break it through 3 Atletico Madrid players, you're not going to get any creation.
Diego Simeone is the poop house master. No,
that's right.
No one can defeat Diego Simeone when he wants to shut down.
Right next to Musso.
But we have to talk about it. I know. I can't believe that this is the truth, but you hate Lamine Yamal. You don't think he's a superstar. You have to tell me why. What did he not show this game? He was getting by everyone. I mean, what does he not show you?
Lamine Yamal needs character development. Right now, he's been like the superstar. He's been on top of the game. I hear all of the comments about Lamine Yamal. He needs character development. He needs a little defeat. He needs something, because I know if his ego gets way too big, he's going to lose it at the end. We have that example with what happened with Neymar.
We've seen it with a lot of people.
Yeah, he was a superstar, and then
I think that character development is going to come whenever Barcelona gets eliminated.
I was
in
about
the
to say, I think we're
Champions
about
League.
to see it happen this
Next
time, probably.
week. When you go forward, there's a rematch. This is a rematch between two teams. Similarity to the second leg of the Copa del Mar. It was a 3-0 aggregate. Madrid was leading, and then Barca scored 4 goals, but wasn't able to get over the hump. 15 corner attempts compared to Atletico Madrid's 0. It's going to be a same replication, like you said, Poop House special, and Atletico Madrid, they're just playing at such a high level. They're playing such competitive games. Antoine Griezmann's last Champions League with Atletico Madrid, and then they'll go play in the Copa del Rey. That'll be his last match 2 weeks from now with Atletico Madrid. So savor Antoine Griezmann while you can.
And I have to ask, in 2 words only, who is winning the Champions League? Nash, let's start with you. Who is winning it all?
I said it. I just said it before, and I'll say it again. Antoine Griezmann
Wow.
and Atletico Madrid.
Okay.
That's not 2 words.
What about you?
Wow, I have that hot take. I feel like it's gonna be the PSG.
I mean, I think PSG definitely are going to be strong contenders. We will have to see. There's not much tournament left, but I'm very excited for that PSG Bayern tie. I think it's going to be electric. But up next, we'll be talking about UFC. Join me after this commercial break.
Hey, are you here for the premiere? Come take a sneak peek with us.
Stop. That, no.
Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
I wonder what's on the radio today. I don't know about this. This is not it.
Everything alternative, commercial free. 88.1 Indie.
Here at KNTU, we have 2 traditional stations, 88.1 Indie and KNTU Jazz. We've also recently launched an internet radio station called Mean Green Hits. If you want to hear more, you can check us out at MediaNorthTexas.com.
That was pretty good.
Hey guys, it's John Phillips for the final block of the day, and I'm joined by yet another special guest as Jacob Garcia and Jaden Crumpton join me to talk about UFC. I mean, guys, we got a pretty exciting card coming up, and I want to hear what fights are getting you the most excited. I want to hear number 1 fights.
For me, I mean, my number 1 fight, of course, is going to be Yuri Prochazka versus Carlos Ulberg. And it has nothing to do with Carlos Ulberg and everything to do with if Yuri Prochazka is in the cage, it's a must-see fight no matter who he's against. It doesn't matter. And that's not disrespect to Carlos Ulberg, who is a great fighter. It's just Yuri Prochazka might be the most entertaining fighter in the whole company. And then I want to talk about an underrated fight that's on the prelims. Mateusz Gamrot and Esteban Ribovics. Those guys are both super entertaining fighters, and Mateusz Gamrot is a top 10 lightweight. And like I said, it also shows the depth of this card that's a fight on the prelims. I'm so excited for that one too. That's my underrated banger.
It's going to be stacked. I mean, Jacob, what fights are exciting you the most?
Obviously, like he said, Yuri Prochazka, Carlos Ulberg. Ulberg on a 9-fight win streak. He's obviously very technical, very composed. And Yuri Prochazka, he just comes out like a car crash every fight, makes it super entertaining, super unorthodox. And I think if he can do that in this fight, he's going to emerge victorious and the new champion. The other fight that I want to mention is Curtis Blades and Josh Hokett. I am super excited for that fight. Curtis Blades, obviously, with the experience edge, he's a veteran. Some may say the gatekeeper of the division. However, Josh Hokett, man, and what I've seen from him, he comes out super explosive, just super fast, almost like an NFL player. That's kind of he reminds me of. And so I'm super interested to see how that plays out. Kind of the up-and-comer against Curtis Blades. I'm really excited for that fight.
Yeah, and obviously Josh Hokett is, upcoming a lot. He's in the media a lot, in the news a lot with his personality that he's put on, his persona, kind of Colby Covington-esque. I mean, what do you guys think about this persona that he's put on this weeks coming up to this fight?
I'm glad you asked me this. I was wondering if I would get asked this because I have some thoughts. Josh Hokett, you're not Colby Covington. You are an unranked heavyweight. You literally can win like 4 fights. You can win like 2 fights depending on who you fight and be ranked at heavyweight. There's like 30 guys in the whole division. You're an unranked heavyweight. You don't get to act like Colby Covington, who was a title challenger. I think Curtis Blades wins this fight. And this isn't the news. I get to be biased. I hope Curtis Blades wins this fight.
I too think Curtis Blades wins this fight, but I'm not as confident. I think this one to me it's not a coin flip, but it's going to be a very competitive fight and one that I am very excited to watch. However, I think Curtis Blades, the experience factor will, push him to victory. He'll get it done.
What do you guys think about the size factor? Because, I mean, Curtis Blades is a huge man, especially compared to Hoka. Do you think that that's going to play a part in this fight at all?
And that's kind of why I think that he is going to win. Because, I mean, Curtis Blades is a wrestler. Josh Hoka is an NCAA All-American wrestler as well out of Boise State. But Curtis Blades is just a heavier fighter. On fight night, he's going to have at least 25, 30 pounds on Josh Hoka. And while he might be a little slower, if he can take the fight to the ground, he's going to gas him out with his pressure, his, obviously his weight. And so that's why I think he's going to emerge victorious in this fight.
That's fair. And I think let's talk about your guys' most excited fight. I mean, both of you said it was your most anticipated. Why not talk about it? Yuri versus Carlos Olberg. Let's get a little bit more into the matchup. What do you guys think about this fight?
For Yuri versus Olberg, I think what it comes down to is nobody's going to survive Yuri Prochazka for 5 rounds. The only person he's lost to in the UFC is Alex Pereira. I mean, he's one of the best. He probably is. I want to see him fight Magomed Ankalaev, and then I'll say he's a top 2 light heavyweight, but he is easily a top 3 light heavyweight in the division. Well, now with Alex Pereira gone, top 2. And I think what it comes down to is even if Carlos Olberg can dance around for 3 rounds or whatever and kind of pick at him like we saw Khalil Roundtree do in Yuri's last fight, I think eventually once Yuri just decides to walk forward and come at you, there's nothing you can really do. I mean, he's taken out everyone that way.
Jacob, I do want to know, what do you think the path to victory for Olberg is? How is he going to be Yuri if he does get that win?
Well, kind of like I said, he has to stay composed and keep it a technical fight, which against Yuri, like you said, is really hard to do, especially in a 5-round fight. It's like I said, he just comes out like a car crash. Yuri has been in danger, though. We've seen him be in danger in fights in the past. He gets hit, quite a bit with that sporadic style, but he has the one-shot power that can end this fight, and so that's why I think Yuri Prochazka will get it done by knockout. But I just don't think Carlos Olberg, like you said, can hang in there with Yuri Prochazka, especially in a 5-round fight.
Yeah, it'll be very rough for Olberg to last that much. But let's talk about another light heavyweight fight. Let's talk about Paulo Costa's fight coming up against this fight. I mean, Paulo Costa, the veteran, he has a lot more experience. Do you guys think that he's going to be able to get the win in this fight?
Paulo Costa is not a natural light heavyweight. He's moving up, which is kind of a weird thing for you that he's moving up and fighting a guy who's one of the most dangerous in the division, and Mirzakhanov, who just absolutely colded Alexander Rakic in his last fight. I think this one is probably one of the easiest ones on the card for me to pick.
I have to agree on that one.
I just think Azamat's too good. Paulo Costa really doesn't have any good wins in any recent years, and he's moving up a weight class. It just seems like too obvious that Azamat's just going to get this one done.
And to go off of what you said, Paulo Costa, obviously this is only his 2nd fight in light heavyweight. His first one he lost back in 2021 because he missed weight. But Mirzakhanov, his power is just crazy. And Paulo Costa, kind of like I can say with Yuri Prochazka, he gets hit a lot, but his chin isn't that good. I feel like he doesn't really take fights completely serious at times, and you'll kind of see he kind of messes around, kind of tries to get the highlight reel finish. But I think Mirzakhanov's it's not going to be pretty. I don't think it's going to end very pretty. But I'm excited for that fight as well.
That's fair. And I think next up, we got to talk about a fight between 2 veterans. We've been talking about a lot of veteran versus up-and-comer, but let's talk about Dominic Reyes versus Johnny Walker. I mean, these are 2 guys who are long-term UFC fighters, but who do you guys think has the edge in this one?
I've heard this one referred to a lot as chin or be chin.
Yes, exactly.
These are 2 guys who've been around for a while and have been knocked out a lot. I mean, for this whole card, there's going to be a lot of knockouts. There's a lot of fights like this where like, oh man, someone's going cold. And this is one of them. And I'm going to pick Dominic Reyes because he has the experience and I think he has a better resume than Johnny Walker. But like I said, when it's just 2 dudes swinging and as soon as one of their chins get touched, the other one's going to win, it's hard to pick a definitive, confident fighter.
Yeah, this is definitely the battle of the glass chins, if you will. But Dominic Reyes, before his last fight where Carlos Olberg did knock him out, he was starting to kind of return to form. He was on a 3-fight streak, kind of the Dominic Reyes that we saw fight John Jones and arguably win, like I say. But Obviously, Carlos Oberg caught him with a beautiful slip 1-2 to knock him out. But I think Dominic Reyes is going to get it done. Johnny Walker, I feel like when he gets knocked out, they're the goofiest looking knockouts I've ever seen. But I expect Dominic Reyes' power to show in this one, knock out Johnny Walker. And like you said, a lot of knockouts because a lot of these fights are light heavyweight and heavyweight fights. So it's going to be a great card.
Slobber knocker is a term for a reason. You want to see those big guys just rocking each other. But I want to know, 2.5 knockouts on the main card, over under. What do you guys think? Are we going to see that many knockouts, or do you think it might disappoint a little bit when it comes to that?
I think over. I'm going to take over.
I think over as well. I think the main event's going to end in a knockout. I think Mirzakhanov's going to end in a knockout, and then Dominic Reyes is probably going to. That one's going to be fireworks as well.
Someone will get knocked out.
At least 3. I expect at least 3 from this main card.
That's a super exciting card, and we haven't even talked about the prelims. I mean, there's names like Aaron Pico, Kevin Holland. I mean, these are names that are big names for UFC. So I mean, I got to know, what do you guys think about the prelims for this card? You already talked about the Gamrot fight a little bit, but
yeah, this is a super deep card. I mean, there's a ton of fights we could talk about. I could go down this whole card if we had, a 30-minute block. But like I said, Mateusz Gamrot and Esteban Ribovics is one that really excites me because Ribovics is a great prospect and Mateusz Gamrot is like the lightweight top 10 gatekeeper. Every fight he has is so entertaining, especially for a guy who's primarily like a wrestler grappler type. And I can't wait to see Ribovics challenge like that.
One fight I want to talk about from the prelims is the Aaron Pico, like you said. Obviously, this is going to be a second UFC fight. His first one, he got knocked out by Leron Murphy, but he's very fast. His hands are very powerful, very quick, and that's what I'm excited. He's going against Patricio Pitbull. That's going to be a great fight, and I think he's going to show why he belongs, why the UFC was so sought after, rather, and I think he's going to get that one done too.
Do you think that Aaron Pico is someone that is a real prospect for UFC, or do you think that this is just kind of a warm-up fight for him that he's going to be able to win, but he won't be able to get far in the division?
I think he is a true prospect. Like I said, based off what I saw from that last fight against Leron Murphy, his hands, how quick they are. He was moving like that, you know what I mean? And so I think that's a fight. He is a prospect, a true prospect in the UFC. I'm super excited to see where he goes from here. On the prelims, like you said, from top to bottom, this card is stacked. So I am so excited for this.
And there is still one main card fight that we have to talk about. Cub Swanson is fighting on the main card. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, what do you guys think about this Cub Swanson fight coming up?
Cub Swanson's a legend. I'm glad he's going to get his spotlight on a pay-per-view to go out and retire. He's one of those guys that's just been around forever. I mean, he challenged Jose Aldo for the title back in the day. He has a win over Dustin Poirier back when Poirier was at featherweight. He's a legend. I mean, I don't really think it matters which way this fight goes, as long as Cub Swanson doesn't get colded, which would suck.
That would be
I think he's going to get his flowers, and that's the biggest story with that fight, is seeing a legend go out like that.
I do. I hope he rides off into the sunset with a storybook ending. Nate Landwehr, he's very chaotic as well. But Cub Swanson is a legend. I hope he doesn't get chinned. Like you said, I hope it's just not awful. But other than that, I'm going to be happy to watch this fight.
Yeah, it's the card of chin, so who knows? I mean, I am very scared for Cub Swanson. We'll have to see. But this is a really exciting card. I'm really excited to see. We'll be talking about this on Tuesday SportsZone, so make sure you tune in. I'll be back on there, and Steven will be back next week, guys. Do not worry, Steven will be back. That is all we have for SportsZone this week. So join me next week on Tuesday and Thursday. Have a great day.